I don't see anybody here. So we can just keep talking. Hold on a second. I don't see anybody here. We got three people here. So we can just keep talking. I gotta mute this real quick, sir. All right. Amanda's here. Hey, Amanda, I see you too. Joseph's here. Hey, Amanda, I see you too. Uh-oh. You gotta turn down the volume on that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I just realized I was like, whoa, that was creepy. Joseph, what's going on, buddy?
How's it in Georgia? Middle. Hi, Adrian. Hi, Levi.
What's up, yo, Adrian, Levi?
And we got and you're watching, so that's it. It's just you, Amanda, Joseph, and then someone else. Actually, we got a third watcher. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about. I'm getting close to 200 subscribers. I'm at like
Tammy, what's going on? How are you?
I'm at like 183 right now. Yeah, me and Joseph were talking. We're gonna try to find a video game that we can play online since we're both kind of stuck at home.
Right. Let me know.
You don't play video games.
I may have to though. I mean,
you might get the coronavirus.
dude, you got to realize, you know what I've got looking into my future. I took a glimpse of my future. I've got Amanda, Rebecca, and Samantha. They're all going to be stuck at home. I've got 3 women, and I'm by myself because Frankie ditched me to move in with Danielle. So it's 3-on-1 right now. So
that's so Cody to stop squeaking that dog toy. Like, really?
Joseph, has anything gotten into place or anything like that in Georgia where you're at?
Nobody wants to watch us.
Tammy, are you in Colorado, if I'm not mistaken? Is that correct? Colorado Springs, right, Tammy?
All right, so let's just
okay, Denver. Okay, I didn't know that, Tammy. I thought for some reason I thought it was Colorado Springs, but cool, you're Denver. We'll have to once things settle down, maybe we can get a group of people together and do some like an eBay meetup, something or to that effect, or you know.
So what's it like in New York right now?
Yeah, hey, so our couple listeners, Joe, Tammy, so my wife and I are actually in New York City as we speak. They're coming to you live from the bedroom of a friend of mine that lives right at the doorstep of Madison Square Garden. We're about a block from Madison Square Garden, so we're right in the middle of Midtown. Actually having a pretty good time considering I joked that it took me 23 years to bring my wife on our honeymoon, and we are in New York City and we have the city all to ourselves. It is a little eerie. We went down to the World Trade Center this morning. The fountains and everything are completely off. You're not allowed to actually walk near the memorial fountains or anything. Obviously the museum is closed. That was to be expected, but it was still a little eerie to see the ponds off, the reflecting pools, whatever you want to call them, they were completely off, and chain, a rope chain or whatever you want to call it around the entire footprint of the memorials. So no one's even allowed to go near the memorials now. So that's a little odd. We went to Times Square. Again, this is our 3rd year in a row we've been to New York. First time without any kids or anybody with us, and we were in Times Square, and literally it seemed a little ominous because it was almost empty.
Right.
There were people there, but it was still not compared to the way a normal, beautiful, spring afternoon in New York City would be. There usually be, tens of thousands of people. There was probably less than 500.
Wow.
So
yeah,
go ahead.
I saw on the news they were showing Times Square. There was no traffic. Like there was hardly any people.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Nurse Ripper. Hey, Kat. How you doing? Thanks for stopping in. All through. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. Like, I was talking about San Francisco. They have that shelter in place, and it's sounding on the news. They were saying New York's not far behind. So, I just don't know what all that entails. Like, how you're not allowed to leave your house. What's a reason that you would be allowed to leave your house? So it's just kind of, I don't know. Like. Obviously, our big question is the post office. From what I understand, though, they're not closing the post office. San Francisco still has the postal service running. That's considered a necessity. So it's not, it's not a complete shutdown. It's just if you don't have something that's urgent, then stay home.
Yeah. So the other thing I thought was kind of a trip because that I do the Amazon Flex delivery. I was just out of curiosity because I noticed I hadn't seen any offers for any Amazon Flex delivery routes. So I went onto their website or to my app today to look to see available shifts, and Amazon Flex has nothing scheduled for the next 7 days.
I don't know. A couple things. So the Nurse Flipper just said right here, you can't send in anything to Amazon. So FBA is fulfilled by Amazon. You cannot send anything into Amazon. So it used to be you'd fill a box full of inventory, send it to Amazon, and then they would sell it for you from there. They've stopped all incoming boxes like that. And then another thing I noticed is if you try to do Prime, today's Tuesday, you won't get till Friday. So that Flex thing might have something to do with that. Prime is 3 days out now. You can't even get Prime right away. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, like I said, and then as it comes to the different shutdowns here in New York City, obviously every single major attraction venue of any sort, whatever, Broadway's been completely shut down. So there's none of that, none of the major tourist attractions, the Rockefeller, World Trade Center, Empire State Building, that's all been shut down. Restaurants that went into effect this morning, that all restaurants are carry out only.
Same here. Same in Denver. They did the same thing here.
Yeah. So
real quick, I did want to
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Say, the Nurse Flipper made a good point. So on the FBA stuff that's like a necessity, that will help in demand, you can still send in the FBA, like she said, like medical supplies or stuff that's in demand. Sorry, just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, I wonder if anybody hoarded the toilet paper and is going to try to send toilet paper into Amazon to. That's on the list. Just curious, but yeah, and I talked to Jeff and I talked to Jason from GQ yesterday. He was actually on a conference call with Governor Polis yesterday morning discussing the effects of the restaurants shutting down and all that.
I just wonder what he knows. Like, obviously he has employees that he had to send home. I don't know, hopefully he didn't have to lay anybody off, but he definitely had to send them, but they're still doing, like, what kind of staff is he keeping if they're doing like delivering and, pickup orders, and do you know if he's doing good on that? So just to clarify, Frank's friend Jason owns 2 restaurants here in Denver area. Does he have 3 yet, or he has 2, right?
He has 2, and then he has the stand
up. He knows the effect of, he owns 2 restaurants, 2 barbecue restaurants that are very successful here in the metro area, and he would know the effects of, having to close a store, and then just wondering if he gave you information on, what kind of staff is he keeping? Are his sales going to be still good with having to do it that way? What is he expecting?
The thought that I kind of got out of is I think the if you're doing like Uber Eats, DoorDash, that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
what a great time to have that job, because
Right.
luckily people are still going to want to eat out and stuff like that. Unfortunately, like for us, where where we live, it's not that I live out in the sticks, but we do live kind of far away from any restaurants and stuff. We're obviously going to be forced to eat
Right.
at home a lot more. But yeah, so he's going to run a somewhat limited staff to be able to do the supply and demand of the carry out orders. But again, I mean, we've been in there countless times.
Yeah.
The
It's
normal people that would be handing out the food to the tables and cleaning the tables and all that stuff, unfortunately, he's not going to have a need for a lot of those people right now.
Yeah, I just wonder, like, yeah, it's the kind of restaurant, barbecue restaurants. His is the kind of restaurant that ran out of food every day, at the end of the day, because they make it. So I just wonder how much he's going to have to cut back on how much he's cooking, because it takes a while. You don't just cook smoked meat. It takes hours to make a brisket or some ribs. So they got to plan. How is that going to be an adjustment for him planning to smoke the right amount of meat and stuff like that?
I have a feeling he's going to go light early in this and kind of get a feeling for how the business is going to go. I guess from the other standpoint, I believe this is in effect for 8 weeks. Is that correct? I got very limited information just off of Facebook.
It's a month here. It's 1 month
so far. Okay.
I mean,
so maybe within
that's just the initial shutdown here in Denver.
Okay, yeah, because I know Mayor Hancock did the city and county of Denver, but then Governor Polis did the statewide.
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't know how that was going.
Real quick, let me ask you to not focus totally on coronavirus.
Yeah, thank God.
My nephew Adrian is asking about these toys that I got right here. Let me close these blinds a little bit so it's not so much of a glare. So I just picked these up off of Facebook Marketplace from a guy you might know, Frank. He just posted the other day. These are Star Wars The Saga collection. They're from like 2007, 2006. And it's just stuff based on some of the older shows. Like this is from Empire Strikes Back. It's a bounty hunter character. I picked up 8 of them. I paid $50 for 8 of them, and there's 2 of them in there that will make me my $50 back, and then the rest will be profit. So that's why I did the deal. There's a couple in there that are worth $30 to $40 each. So once I sell those 2, I'll be good. But yeah, they're new in the package. Some of them are really cool. There's like Han Solo from Empire Strikes Back. Can't see it because of the glare. Hold on. So they got Han Solo from Empire Strikes Back. You got Luke Skywalker from Empire Strikes Back. So I went pretty good on that. I'm happy with it.
Hey, so question for our viewers out there and you, Uncle B. How's your sales been the last couple of days since, say, Friday, Saturday, when things kind of hit the fan, and then early part of this week? I know normally Mondays and Tuesdays are usually supposed to be pretty good days when it comes to online purchasing. Just kind of curious.
So the first 2 days of this week, Sunday and Monday were good. But when it first hit the fan, my sales went way down. But then I recovered pretty good. I had a decent weekend. And then yesterday was good. Today so far has been kind of light, but it's not terrible, but it's affected me some. I know your sales aren't too bad right now, but
well, and I mean, so just so give you an idea too, I put my store on vacation mode, obviously.
Right.
Early Sunday when I got up, just because I wanted to get all my packages shipped out and out on Sunday because we were flying out late Sunday evening. So I put my store on vacation mode about 10 o'clock Sunday morning and then changed my handling time to 5 days. Wow. And so with that being said, I still have 7 paid for, and I've got hey, welcome in Dino Mac. Dino Mac looks like he just joined us. And then I've got like 4 that I'm waiting to get paid on. So still 11 sales, even on vacation mode, and
That's
going from
crazy.
1 day handling to 5 days. So
Yeah, so I mean, you're doing better than me while on vacation mode. Just so stupid. So I'm just curious what Dynomac, what you mean by I'm doing a total rebuild of my store. Are you changing like the kind of stuff you're selling, or are you just kind of repricing stuff? Are you changing pictures? No sales for 1 week. Yeah, that'd be tough for me. Frank's 1,500 listings. The math says you should have about 10 to 15 sales daily. So it sounds like you're pretty close to that. Even on vacation mode. Right now I feel like I'm doing 5 or 6 a day right now.
yeah, and I mean, so the flip side of that is I guess it's all a matter of, obviously I would take 2 or 3 sales and have $300 or $400 worth of sales in a day. But if, keeping in mind that 11 or 12 sales I have, quite a few of them are fairly small.
Right.
So can't quantify it into large dollars amounts. But then we luck out and you get, like I was talking to you earlier today about that Hewlett Packard calculator that I paid $1.50 for.
Let me see if I can get that to come up real quick.
Okay. Hey, and Joe, just so you know, Bethany would be my favorite viewer, but she's not on here. So I'll say Adrian and Levi are my 2 other favorite viewers. So you'd be correct on that.
Well, let's see if I can find it. You got to keep talking while I'm. Hey,
yeah. So wave, Amanda.
While I'm looking for your sales.
So yeah, the other, we were talking earlier. I was saying, so a friend of mine, we're actually in his apartment, broadcasting live from New York. It's Tuesday night. I'm chilling in his bedroom, and he has 3 restaurants he runs here in New York, and he got the word yesterday morning that all 3 of his restaurants were shutting down until further notice. So
here we are.
There we go. Yeah. So here's a little bolo for everybody. I picked this up at an ARC up in Greeley about a week and a half ago. We were up at a friend's house for their son's birthday party. So, so obviously as we were leaving Greeley, I said, hey, when in Rome, might as well stop at a thrift store while we're up there. Found that this calculator, ran the numbers on it, threw it up and listed it, and I got paid full price on it, $229, and the guy paid immediately for it as well. So I cannot tell you what makes this thing so special. It had the original case that went with it as well, and $229 I got for this.
It's crazy. I see old calculators all the time. I guess and I've bought a couple and I didn't do very well on them, so I guess I gotta keep a better eye out.
And these took some special E90 is the name of the batteries that they took. I just ordered some from Amazon, got them in, threw them in there, and tested it out and everything. I took pictures of the battery compartment and showed that the leads and everything were still good on it. So yeah, keep an eye out for those old calculators, especially from a name, a brand like Hewlett Packard. I mean, how is Macari selling on Macari Dino? Is it Dino-Mac or Dino-Mac? Don't mind me asking. I don't know if pronunciation, potato.
I can't tell you though. Like, is it? It looks like I'd say it Dino, like because it starts off like dinosaur, but Dino-Mac. Hey, I just started listening on Macari too. I had my first Macari sale.
Heyo.
That was kind of cool. I sold a pair of retail arbitrage.
Hey, and Dino Mac was able to type it out to tell me the pronunciation. Good job, yeah. Dino. Thank you. I haven't tried Macari, so you said it's pretty good.
I'm using a third-party website called Vendu, and I paid for the first month to transfer 125 of my eBay listings to Mercari. And it's like maybe 5 steps per listing to move them over there. So I have like, out of the 125 that I'm moving over, I have about 90 of them done already. And out of that, I have one sale. It's a pair of Adidas cleats that went to Alaska. I don't know. Mercari's if it's very frustrating because it's eye shop. I mean, it's like a bunch of, what do they call them? Window shoppers. Like, you get a lot of likes, you get a lot of views, and not a lot of results so far. And it's definitely geared towards the younger audience. Like, honestly, you should do it because Mercari is way better for clothes and shoes, and people that are looking for like streetwear, like the kind of stuff you find all the time. But it's 20. I think I'm gonna pay. Good thing is I can cancel for $20. I can move 125 over to Mercari every month for $20 a month. I'm just gonna do 1 month, and if sales don't go good, which this is the worst month to do the test, but if sales don't go very good, I'll probably cancel it at least till this is over. But we'll see. The one sale paid for it, so the sale I had paid for that company I'm using to transfer it over, Vendu. So we'll see.
And Joseph had a question about: are we noticing any trending with the COVID-19 situation? Anything? Joe, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've sold everything all across the board, from a die-cast UPS truck to grow lamps to calculators. So it's kind of, I'm not seeing any.
I want to talk about
something area.
I have something that I definitely noticed. So I had and it's just a couple bags that are tactical bags that you can connect to your tactical backpack. As soon as this stuff started going on, the views on those 2 bags skyrocketed over 1,000. It had like 12 watchers. I had multiple questions on them in the last 4 days. People have been asking me a lot of questions about them, and both bags sold today to the same guy. So I feel like tactical stuff right now. It's the only tactical stuff I had in my inventory. We always look for tactical stuff like 511 tactical or outdoors type stuff. But the second this started going down, that tactical stuff, I think having the word, and I had the word tactical in my listing. The views skyrocketed, the interest skyrocketed, questions. And I know I don't have to explain to you why, Joseph. You know why. I mean, and I get it. Just preparing. People are preparing. So.
So I think I'm going to change all my listings to have the word tactical in every. I got a tactical WWE figure.
I find it very interesting. Like obviously I know why, but like, man, it just kind of surprised me. Like, man, I wish I could. I'd already sold, but like that. Those sold really fast. I mean, once this started going down, I had multiple questions on it. Let me see if I can find them.
Hey, Tammy, you said you work for a thrift store? And also, too, I do have one, Joe, that it wasn't a sale.
So they're just little pouches that you can connect to your tactical backpack.
Oh, okay.
And they were new with tags. Sold today, both of them.
I did have one, speaking of something trending, I had somebody message me on some adult male Depends that I had listed, and they wanted to know how many packages I had. So that I found that interesting. I don't know if they were trying to see if I was gonna be price gouging on diapers, but I mean, I had these listed, and the price of them 3 or 4 months ago, so it wasn't like this was something I just listed. And but I found it interesting that they wanted to know exactly how many packages of adult male Depends or whatever. I can't remember the name of the brand that I had them. They weren't Depends, but it was that type of product line. But they wanted to know how many packages I had and how many I could ship out at a time. And I said, well, I've got just the one package and the one listing. So, and then I haven't heard back from them since. So that was a weird question to ask.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, I mean, I just wonder if it's like because older people need to just kind of. They definitely need to start quarantine themselves, even for the main reason to keep away from people that could possibly have it. People that are going to work every day or whatever. So maybe they're just, I don't know.
Right.
Tell Bethany that if she finds some, I want it too, because we haven't been able to find any hand sanitizer. I found some like baby wipes that have some alcohol in it. That's what we found today, and I was literally the guy was putting them on the shelf when I walked by and I grabbed a couple packages. We don't, I can't find any alcohol like to clean this stuff, so I'm running on limited alcohol right now. Yeah, so it's going to be dish soap and water next.
Hey, Dino, I think that is a great observation with exercise equipments, videos. Man, now I wish I wasn't passing up on all those Tybo videos, and because those might, yeah, we got, we're a member of Vasa Fitness, and we got the email yesterday afternoon that they're shut down indefinitely. And this was even before Governor Polis put that in place. So, and then, yeah, definitely board games, man. Again, I wish I would have bought all those.
I've been selling models, Joseph. Yeah, I sold I sold a couple models since this. I know I'm not showing you guys anything you haven't seen already, but like this was Saturday at Walmart. That's one of the food aisles in Walmart. There was just, and it's still that way. We went. Sonia went last night. So you have to go to the more expensive stores like Safeway right now. That was the only way I was able to find some food. Like we were able to find. I was lucky they were putting out some chicken breasts, so I got some chicken breasts, a couple hams, nothing that we normally eat. They don't have ramen noodles. Hey, if anybody has any ramen noodles, that's what we've been trying to find ramen noodles. You can't find them anywhere. So tell Bethany if she has any ramen noodles to send them my way. I found some mac and cheese, stuff that, raviolis. And we usually don't keep that stuff in the house, but, with the boys being home and if it becomes San Francisco and they shut us down, then I'll be glad I went shopping today.
Well, the good thing for me is I got about 200 pounds of turkey breast in my freezer. Amanda and I and Samantha were cleaning out our freezers that before all this happened a couple weekends ago, and man, I was blown away with how much food we actually had in our freezer. I was like, what the heck was I doing buying all this food when we had 2 freezers full of food? So actually, to be honest with you, we will be fine if they shut everything down. And I quit smoking other than you see me hitting my vape pod, but we don't smoke anymore, so I don't need to worry about, cigarettes or anything like that. As long as we got water and I got a forum to cook food, we'll be good. So flipping hustlers in the house. Hey, good idea. Dollar General's got food. Yeah, right. Hustlers.
I got one right across the street too. I haven't even been in there yet. Maybe I better go down there.
Right.
It's a good idea. Maybe when my wife gets home, we'll go over there because we're on the toilet paper alert right now. We got 12 rolls, but I have not been able to find any at all. Like that's, I don't know. I don't want to have to use a rag or something.
Hey, Joseph. So ironically, we were at a garage sale.
Sorry.
We were at a garage sale or a thrift store. I think you may have been with me, Jimmy, but I found that Empire State Building, Chrysler Building 3D puzzle.
Yeah. I'm not trying to buy it.
It looks like me and Amanda and the girls are going to have something to do this weekend at least because I've been wanting to put that thing together, and now that we have nothing to do, that might be something to do.
Hey, I want to
list it.
this kid Brandon right here. If you haven't watched him, flip it and list it. I've been following him and he's been following me for a while now. And he's like just now starting out and starting to grow his eBay store. And he does a lot of toys. It's been really awesome to watch him grow and like he's like, to sell, he started off selling stuff and now he's like, oh, I made some money, so let's go buy some more, the growth of selling on eBay. It's been fun to watch. He definitely knows his stuff about toys. And if you haven't checked him out, check him out. He does good videos and it's just fun to watch, watch him grow his store, and it's been pretty cool. I think it's Brandon, right, Brandon? Yeah, definitely check his videos out.
Hey, Flippin' Hustler. So they've got plenty of Cool Ranch Doritos. Good, because those are the ones I like. I don't care for the regular nacho ones. So, and I guess if they're at a TP, you could do instead of the 3 seashell method, you could do the 3 Dorito method, I guess, to try to see.
Yeah, man. Oh, it's like a mission. Like, so I'm gonna say I laughed in my head because it's probably not funny. But when I got done grocery shopping today, I was like, maybe I should do a haul video for groceries and stuff. Like, come home, put it out on the counter, and be like, okay, this is what we were able to get today. Found these baby wipes. Instead of the haul video for stuff I found at thrift stores, I'm gonna do a haul video for the grocery store and Walmart.
That would be hilarious. I also learned something new today while we were in New York. My friend Jeff kept referring to all the bodegas around here. Here's a news flash from the Mexican picker over here. Bodega is Spanish for grocery stores. Did not know that. Found that out today. So
that's you're Mexican and you found that out today.
Yeah, I was today years old when I found out bodega means small grocery store.
Oh, I did not know that either.
You'd think my mom and dad would have taught me that in my but
I was today years old, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean, again, it does feel kind of weird because, like I said, literally, I'm not exaggerating when I say we have New York to ourselves. I mean, so we took some pictures. I don't know if my wife has posted them or not that you would have seen them, Jimmy. But I mean, even the video that I did of the rat walking on the subway, at least he was only there with the guy with us on the. We were literally the only ones in the subway.
There was 4 turtles somewhere in the area too. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, there were
4 turtles.
It was crazy to it's eerie to see it like this. I mean, it kind of reminds me of, if you've seen the movie Red Dawn, when they decide to go walk back into town and
that movie's too old. I've never seen
it. Oh, come on now, that gray and that beard, I know you're old enough to. But it kind of felt like that.
Right, yeah.
No,
I get it. It's just, I want to say, when I was at the grocery store today, like, there was a little bit of stress involved. Like, for the first time, I was like stressed. Like, and it's only because I got a house full of people that I know Frank can relate to this. I have a house full of people that I feel like, even though I'm not responsible for everybody, I feel responsible for everybody.
Right.
And just kind of a lot of weight on my shoulders, and I definitely had a moment of stress. Like, we need some freaking toilet paper, man. And we need, and we need food. Like, there was no milk, only 1 carton of egg. That we were only allowed to buy 1 carton of eggs. It was just kind of, nothing crazy, guys. Like, but it just like, because I don't stress out a lot, but it was one moment where I was like, man, this sucks. Like, stress and, a little bit of stress.
Well, I think that's part of the frustrating part for me is that now the grocery stores want to enact these limits to.
Too late, yeah.
That should have been in effect a week ago from the get-go, and instead they let all the panic purchasing happen, and then now,
Yeah, they should have. Toilet paper should have been the first one when people were. I mean, you showed a video when you were at like Costco or something. People had their carts full of toilet paper. Hello, like, toilet paper should have been the first thing they started. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not panicking, but like, it's just, yeah. you know. So the flipping hustler Joseph is my brother. He lives in Georgia. He's a professor at a college in Georgia. I don't remember the name of the college, but he lives in Georgia. He has one of those jobs. He'll tell you where he had to go where the work was. So he went. That's where he ended up in Georgia. It's not the kind of job that you can find in every city.
Hey Jimmy, I was telling you earlier. So anybody else that either our listeners that are from Colorado or anybody that watches this video afterwards, I know we all piss and moan and complain about the cost of our rent and house and cost of houses in Colorado and whatnot. So my friend Jeff lives about a block from Madison Square Garden, right in the middle of Midtown, and his apartment is about the size of a $49 a night Motel 6 motel room or hotel room. $3,200 a month he pays for this little, probably 400 square foot, maybe 350 square foot apartment.
Right.
But it's in Midtown, again, a block and a half from Madison Square Garden. Penn Station, which is one of the major subway hubs for the entire city, is a block away. So yeah, you get what you pay.
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's so. You hit on another topic, like man, like thankfully my wife is working, and as of right now, she works she's involved with the trucking industry. So right now, there's no plans on closing that industry down at all. So work-wise, she's probably not going to have to come home anytime soon. But I was telling my son, they told him he can't. He has to come home. He does construction, and he was actually doing work in a retirement community. So they shut him down real quick. So he's at home. Go ahead. Sorry, you were going to show the skyline or something?
Yeah, just kind of briefly get an idea of. So that green in our background is Madison Square Garden.
Right. You can see a lot better now that the sun's coming down.
But yeah, it's still New York City. It's still beautiful. They still got the buildings lit up, the Empire State Building's lit up and all that. So it's still cool. Yeah, like I said, we're kind of spoiled. We got the city to ourselves. So we're getting on any trains we want without, being elbow crowded and whatnot. So
right.
Yeah, Frankie, I haven't talked much to Frankie recently, but obviously him and his fiance work for FedEx, and again, kind of, we always joke about, not all heroes wear capes. Some of them wear FedEx shirts because they're humping, trying to get everybody's packages and everything out still during all of this. So
two of my roommates, my sister and her boyfriend, work for Amazon. They work at a warehouse just down the street from us, a huge, 6 football field warehouse. And they are on mandatory overtime. They have to work an extra day every week. So, and Amazon, I guess, is hiring a lot too. I don't know if you heard that. Amazon is going to be doing a lot of hiring because they're expecting a lot more online sales, and they've already seen a huge spike in online sales since it started. So I've heard I saw it on the news that Amazon is going to be doing a lot of hiring to help with the demand. Maybe that has something to do with so Frank used to drive what is called Amazon Flex, which is in your personal vehicle. You have an app, you sign up for this, and you can literally drive into the Amazon warehouse. They give you a bunch of deliveries to deliver, and then you deliver them for Amazon, and you get paid a set amount. And he's saying that right now that app is showing no delivery. So I don't know if they shut that down because of the virus. Sounds like they did. I don't know. Maybe they're going to try to hire people to do that for them, permanent employees. I don't know.
Yeah, the other, I was telling Amanda earlier, I said I might have to get back into it once we get back from our vacation, because it might be a little honey hole is doing Uber Eats, because
yeah, I just got a message from Uber Eats that they have zero delivery fee in my area, so they're promoting it.
Yeah, and Joseph, I just saw, you're saying, I agree, small businesses, the big box, the big chain companies, all that, they can sustain this for the 6 to 8 weeks that everybody keeps talking about. It's unfortunately it's the small businesses. I was telling Jimmy before that we went on the air with this that my daughter just found out that she's been temporarily laid off. She's a hairstylist, cosmetologist, and unfortunately, she's been feeling this since last week. She was having clients canceling their stuff because everybody needs to get their toilet paper instead of their nails done or whatever. And so she just got the email or whatever this morning from the owner of her salon that they are shutting down indefinitely until this passes because they cannot. They run off of such small margins, anyways. What she pays her stylist compared to the actual profit, and so for her, they can't. She can't pay the rent and all the other stuff that entails running a business. I mean, we luck out that we don't have any overhead for us, thank God. And I know a few other people, I'm not going to mention them by name just because out of respect for them, but I know about 2 or 3 other people that also lost their jobs as of this morning as well. So it's hit it, Joseph, you hit the nail on the head. It's small business is going to suffer immensely because of this. I know Proud Souls, they're doing any purchase of $100 or more, they're doing free delivery just to help the people that don't want to.
That's a good idea, though. So people, yeah, that's a good idea.
They're they got the people that are afraid to go out or don't want to go out, so they're saying, "Hey, we'll go to your door with your, what you want," just to let people know that there are options besides staying in home and not, So yeah, it's a trip. Well, again, I was supposed to be in Oklahoma for a barbecue contest. They, pretty much all that stuff's been shut down for the further notice. And we had a few contests we were hoping to do in April and May, and they haven't been announced that they've been canceled, but I'm sure that's coming down soon too. So
let's turn the page a little bit. I tried to earlier, but it just keeps coming back to this. Kind of want to talk about, I don't know if you've gotten involved in this a lot, Frank, but so one of the things I've noticed since I started doing YouTube is just kind of want to talk about, when I first started reselling, I started watching YouTube videos to see what I could learn and see what people were doing out there. And I started watching the big channels like Lonnie at Shed Flips and John Cincinnati Picker, people like that, Justin RVA, who's the other? Shane Myers, he's Rise and Grind Picker, people like that. But now that I'm into YouTube and I started doing my own YouTube thing and I'm digging into this, there is this huge community of resellers on YouTube that are amazing people. Obviously those people that, like Shed Flips and those guys have thousands and thousands of subscribers, and it's hard for them to, keep up and talk to everybody and communicate with everybody. But if you get to know some of these some of these channels that are still working their way up, kind of like us, or or a little bit bigger than us, man, I've been watching some of these guys and going to their live videos, and some of these they're awesome because they support. They're like they call it the YouTube, the reseller YouTube community, and they all support each other so much. A lot of them, they're messaging me all the time. I'm trying to keep up with what they're doing. Like, man, they message people all the time and they're always supporting people. I don't know if you haven't dug into it, I'd highly recommend digging into it. You meet a lot of cool people. The list goes on and on. I could just start listing names like Flip It and Listed. That kid that's, Brandon that's in here right now. He's one of them. Obviously, the Flippin' Hustler, Old School Picker, Rev Resale, the Nurse Flipper. I mean, the list goes on and on. There's so many of them out there, and they're doing really good videos. But the thing is, they all support each other so much, man. It's crazy. Like, to watch some of their videos, and like, you go into the video and they're like, let me know if and they'll message me, let me know if there's anything I can do to help you grow your channel. Two of the new guys I just met are Pittsburgh and Every Day I'm Hustling, Nate and Anthony, and they have Frank, if you haven't checked this out, they have a Facebook group called Ecom and Beyond. Those two guys go live every morning, and they are awesome, man. They have such good information. And like literally, if you go into their Facebook group, they're like, yes, post your videos that you're, if you put a YouTube video on, post it here. If you're going live, post it here. Share it with us. We want to help you grow your YouTube channel. A lot of guys out there are just awesome. So I just wanted to touch base on that real quick. If you haven't had a chance to, dive in and watch some of their videos and get to know some of those people, they're really, really informative and really just awesome people. So.
Yeah, just to piggyback on that briefly. Yeah, I agree. One of the ones that I've got to start following a lot because of you was Matt, a part-time picker, and for him to mention my name in one of his videos was, to me, it didn't matter whether I got, countless new subscribers because of it, because I hadn't even started my channel yet, and he still mentioned the name of my channel at that point. But it was just the fact that, again, like I said, taking the time to mention the people that are supporting them, to turn around and reciprocate it back to us,
right,
means a lot. Also, too, real quick, Dino, Mac, you had mentioned that you do custom apparel and stuff like that. Is that like silk screening and stuff like that? Because if that's the case, I'd like to try to help you with maybe throwing some bucks your way, because I need team shirts for my barbecue competition team. That stuff would, and I can also, I've got, a huge family of barbecue teams that we're always looking for people to do hats, shirts, and stuff like that. So if that is the case, let me know. I'd like to hopefully help you in where you're kind of in a little bit of a bind because your normal business, there's always other ways to get some business going to you, and we might be able to do something. So
right. And as my channel grows, I'll eventually, hopefully, fingers crossed, eventually I want to have some, maybe a hat or a mug to give away, a hat to give away. I'm actually I'm going to segue into that. I'm coming up on 200 subscribers, and I'm going to be doing because I missed 100 subscribers. Most people do a giveaway at 100 subscribers. So I'm going to do one at 200. When I get to 200 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway. I'm going to do an eBay gift card for this one because it's kind of a smaller milestone. But when I get towards 500, I'm definitely going to want to have like some merchandise, like maybe a hat or a shirt or something like that to do a giveaway on. So maybe I'll reach out to you about that. Definitely going to want something, my generic little logo that I made up. Maybe you can help me make that look a little better. I just did a little generic logo on my own. Cool. I definitely want hats. I notice, and I know Frank has noticed, most resellers wear hats. It's because we're all going bald, except for Frank. But we're going bald, so Frank's got his locks. The guy leaves his job, and then he starts saying, "Oh, I'm going to grow my hair out now." Well, thanks a lot.
Midlife crisis.
I'm going to grow my hair in.
You're tucking your hair in. I'm untucking my hair.
Got to keep these silver hairs coming in.
Silver fox. Yeah, I think, where people, we can all, in social media, the stuff that, if we got small businesses, side hustles, or whatever, help promoting your friends and family and stuff, just to, like Dino, I'm sure he just mentioned something briefly, and I might be able to help him. All it takes is keeping your eyes open and your ears open to stuff, and we might be able to help you out there, Dino Mac.
And by him being here, he's supporting us. So yeah,
exactly.
And that's another thing I want to say is, I know it. I had this mental block when I first started on YouTube. Like, I wasn't sure, should I follow this person? Should I subscribe to them? Man, I am subscribed to so many people now. And if you haven't started doing that, like if you watch a video and the content is something that you're interested in, even if you're not going to make it back there to watch another video in 2 months, subscribe to them. Fill up your subscriptions on YouTube. It helps these creators so much to have subscribers, and it's really what fuels you to keep coming back and doing this. Hey, Landshark Picker, what's up, man? Definitely, like if you're watching someone even every once in a while, just subscribe to them. And even if you liked the video, but you're like, it's something that I'll come back to later, still subscribe to them. Fill up your subscriptions. it's not that hard to search for someone search for someone that you're subscribed to. Just type in their name instead of searching through the list. But fill up those subscriptions, guys. Support these creators, because subscriptions is a big part of it. It's what fuels you, and then eventually down the road, if you take off, it's what pays you. It's what helps you make a little bit of extra money doing this. Obviously, that's the big goal. I'm not doing it for that reason, but that's the big goal, is to eventually one day get there. I enjoy doing this and I have fun, but I need a little bit of, I don't want to just keep putting out content and feel like nobody's watching it. I'll still do it. I'll still put out content, but it feels a lot better when people are watching it, commenting. Hey, Best Offer Queen, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Best Offer, how you doing?
So I just can't stress that enough. And I'm not begging, but if you're enjoying, like I said, if you enjoyed a video, hit that subscribe button. Just add them to your list. Big deal. Even like I said, even if it's a couple months down the road before you get to watch another one of their videos, subscribing helps them a lot, and it fuels them. It keeps them wanting to create and create. So please, if you guys, if you watch a video and you like it, hit that subscribe button. And I'm not just saying for me, I'm saying for everybody, anybody that you watch.
Yeah, exactly. So, and just to clarify, I don't know if my name's on the screen, obviously, but my channel is the way it's spelled out, but without the name Frank at the end of it. So it's Strok _of_luck_. So,
and I don't have my whole name here, but you guys are all here. So
yeah, so obviously you guys know, but yeah, I mean, the thing about it too, and I hope as we get further down with our next videos and stuff and live streams, that it's less and less talking about the coronavirus, COVID-19, or whatever they want to call it tomorrow, and having more fun, whether it be talking about selling or sourcing or whatever the heck that people want to bring into the conversation, and just have a good time. And I mean, at the end of the day, guys, there's a lot worse things we could all be doing other than listening to a couple middle-aged men blab about selling, T-shirts and Star Wars action figures. I mean, but it's fun, and we appreciate the support from the people that are in here. It looks like we've got a couple more people who've dropped in, and just thank you guys for listening to us. This is officially our second live video we've done. I'll be the first to tell you, we're not the most we definitely have a face for radio. We can but we're having a good time with this, and we're hoping to build it and bring it up even more. And just so you guys know, I'm actually plugged in under my wife's name, so you're seeing my wife's name, Amanda, coming up on here. So that's why.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna try to add a link. I wasn't ready for. This is a part, part of
the
my
technical difficulties.
No, just learning how to navigate all this.
And we do Instagram too as well, at Stroke of Luck on Instagram.
Here we go. I'm gonna put your link right there. I think there you go. There's Frank. That's Frank's channel right there. I just put it in the chat.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Uncle B.
And Frank's still just getting started on YouTube. He's got some videos out there. You're gonna see a lot more coming from him. And then we're gonna start doing some videos on his channel as well. Once he gets back to Colorado, he's out of state right now. He's in New York right now, but when he gets back to Colorado, he's gonna host some of these as well. And then you'll see some more content. But yeah, so that's why we're called the Mile High Treasure Hunters. We both live in Colorado, Denver metro area. So you're gonna see a lot of information on what it's like to source here, hit the thrift stores here. Once summer gets here, hopefully we'll be able to go yard selling, and you'll see a lot of content from yard sales here in the beautiful summer of Colorado.
Yeah, and we also have a third kind of member. It's my brother, who actually does some sourcing behind the scenes for us. He's not really, he wants to try to drop in on a video or two. Especially now with the stuff going on, he's gonna have a little bit more time because his company shut down until the middle of May. So, but yeah, we're just three guys that we love what we do. I mean, we're fortunate. Uncle B and I are able to do this as our full-time jobs, and you know, hey, you graduated from Random High School. My niece went to Random. That's in North Denver, isn't it? Flippin' Hustler, if I'm not mistaken. I actually didn't go to high school in Colorado. It's kind of, here's a funny thing. So Uncle B and myself actually became friends in 7th grade at Carson Junior High School in Mesa, Arizona. And then when we left junior high, we enrolled in high school. I never said we went to high school. I said we enrolled in high school, Westwood High School. So this is a friendship that's been going on for close to 30 years now. I moved back to Colorado, and then Uncle B brought his wife and kids out here about 10 years ago. So been lucky with that. Yep, Flippin' Hustler, 80th and Zune. I know exactly where that's at. Actually, my sister doesn't. Yeah, my sister doesn't live far from you. Crystal Lopez, where are you out of, Crystal? Oh, wait, there is Colorado. What part of Colorado, Crystal? And how is Poshmark? I haven't dabbled in Poshmark yet either.
Oh, she's in Broomfield. That's
Broomfield. Hey,
Thornton. I'm in Thornton. Frank's in basically North Commerce City, Denver area.
We like to call it Reunion. It sounds a lot richer and classier than Commerce City. Thank you.
Right.
Even though I'm right across from the Arsenal, so that's why my dog has 3 eyes and an extra tail, but that's irrelevant,
It's funny because I've been living in Colorado for over 10 years now, and I still have not. With having navigation on my phone, I have no idea where a lot of this stuff is. But I want to answer this question right here. Let me see for a second. This one. Have we ever bought a storage unit? I went to an auction about maybe 2 months ago, just to see what it was like. There was a lot of people there, and there was a lot of bidding going on. So I have not yet. There was probably 25 people at the auction I went to. And it was a company that went from site to site to site. So they were going to do 5 sites all in that same day. I only went to 2 of the sites, and yeah, I couldn't compete. I didn't, I just went to learn. I didn't take a lot of money with me. I went to learn, and I found out I didn't take a lot more money with me, and I'm not ready. Not ready for that. Plus, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on this, but the reason I'm a reseller is I used to be a heavy-duty diesel mechanic, and my body gave up on me. Primarily my stomach. I had multiple hernias in my stomach, so I had to basically end that career, and I'm not able to lift a lot anymore. It's really humbling. It's been a tough, very tough transition in my life to not be able to lift anymore. So my point is, a storage unit would be really difficult for me on my own. I cannot lift. Bringing in groceries is difficult for me these days. So to buy a storage unit, I'd have to bring my kids along and help me move stuff, because you have to take everything out of there. So if there's any furniture in there or anything like that, I'm already turning my head like, nope, I can't do this. So for those couple reasons, I have not done it yet. One day, if I can get some help, I might try one just to kind of try to learn. But yeah.
Yeah, we need to do one together, Uncle B. That way, right. I mean,
get your son, get your 6'7" son that lifts boxes all day to help us.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Yeah, and so Best Offer Queen, you said Poshmark's a lot of work. Is it the marketing you have to do for it to get your sales, or what do you mean by a lot of work? If you don't mind me asking, I'm a little.
Actually, so Poshmark requires you to promote it more yourself. Like where eBay, they do a lot of your promoting for you. They're on. You can do a Google search and your ad can come. Your listing can come up on there, and then you go to eBay because it's so well known. Where Poshmark, you have to do a lot of the social media work on your own. You have to promote it on Instagram and Facebook, and you have to share your closet, which, so you have to do a lot of that work on your own. And so the more you're out there, on social media, the better your chances of getting sales are. Yeah, so that's. I mean, I know that much I do know, and that's why it's more work. You're constantly involved in social media, so yes, you have to. That's what they're saying, right? You have to promote yourself. You have to do that work on your own. And then but even then, if you have quality stuff like you do, like if you're finding good clothes and you have a good eye, you can be successful, but you still have to promote it yourself.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because again, like I said, I mean, I see all these commercials for some of these other outfits, and I just didn't know how.
If you want it to be easy at first, do Mercari. Mercari's so easy. Even if you don't use that app that I use or that website to transfer it over, Mercari, it takes literally 5 minutes to do a listing, if that. It's so much easier than eBay. And clothes do good on Mercari, especially stuff that, like I was saying, like streetwear and hip stuff. It's a younger crowd shopping on there.
Hey, Lisa. So you just came in.
Yes, this is our second show, Lisa. You missed it. I put it on Facebook. I guess I'm going to text you next time, Lisa. So this is our good friend, Lisa. She actually just started her own eBay store. She's just now getting into it. I'm shouting you out right now, Lisa. So I'll try to put a link to her. So she just started selling on eBay. I think she's been doing it for just a couple weeks now. She's got 3 or 4 sales in, and she is doing awesome. Her pictures and stuff are like from when I started, and even I know you too, Frank. Like her pictures are so much better than mine and Frank's when we started. And I'm sure she's packing her stuff better than. Oh, it's Harley. Okay,
Harley, what's up?
What's up, Harlem?
Harley, go get your mom and tell her to watch us.
I want to. Yeah, see, come on. Yeah, Mercari is Mercari. I think you should try it, Frank. You have a lot of clothes. So here's what I'm going to tell you. So I use Vendu, and Vendu is $20 to move 125 listings over a month. So like you could pay $20 a month, and every month move 125, and it'll transfer the pictures for you and the title and all that stuff, and then you just have to select the category and the shipping stuff, and everything else is done for you. And since you have so many items, that's the easy way to do it, because if not, you're going to have to take new pictures of everything, which would be a total pain, obviously.
So let me ask you to get clarity on this. So if I were to pick 125 listings, I paid $20 and have them transfer over for a month. So if I just leave those same listings, I just pay another $20 a month for.
So you're signing up, so it's $20 a month, and every month you can move 125 over.
Then it adds up.
So you mean after 3 months, I could have 375 listings,
and then obviously whatever's selling. Yeah. So yeah, but my plan is if it doesn't work out and the sales aren't good, then I'll just cancel that subscription. But
I guess I want to make sure I'm clear on this. So I could feasibly in 6 months have close to 1,000 listings, and I'm only paying $20 a month to have those. Or is it $20 for every 100?
Free. You can list on Mercari for free. You know what I mean? Like you can, if you wanted to do all that work. Again, I'm only using this so I don't have to take pictures again, and I don't have to.
Right. Okay, I get you now. So Mercari, this is a third party, right? This is a third party.
So you're listing that.
So Best Offer Queen wants me to talk more about. Oh, Ben. Oh, sorry, that's not. She just put. So I just started Vendu this week. Sorry. Right here. Here it is. Okay. So I just started Vendu this week. The way I understand it, let me see if I can screen share it. So the way I understand this is I'll show you at the top. You know what? I'll even screen share it, and I'll add something to my store because if I can get it to open. Let me screen share this. So this is Vendu right here. All right, so this is Vendu, and it's linked to my Mercari. Oh, they're updating. Of course, they're going to do a software update while I'm here. So I go to. So these are, so see how it's eBay has eBay and then it has the M. So that means this item is on eBay and Mercari. All right. So first you have to transfer stuff from eBay to Vendu. So all these right here I've already transferred to Vendu. So they're on Vendu. So let's go to, I think I'm on page 6 now. So now that I've transferred it to Vendu, maybe I was on page. Once I transfer it, then I have to click on it. This actually sold, so I won't do this. This sold too. So let's do this all. So then you click on it, and then you want to add it to Mercari. It's a little bit slow. My computer's having a little bit of trouble. And so right here, it's 40 letters. So I'm just going to get rid of this stuff on the end right here till it's 40. I'm just going to get rid of all this. So now I got my title. This title stays here. Barbie is Mattel.
So just real quick, so Mercari's not just clothes. You can sell anything on
You can sell anything, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
I don't know why I thought it was just clothing. So that's interesting.
This update's happening, so it's not going very fast. Sorry, guys.
And Joseph wanted to know what are some of the mistakes we've learned from, or what have we learned from some mistakes. So I would say one of mine, Joseph, is when I first started selling clothes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I would show you, but this is just lagging. So
yeah, it's all good. But one of the early
here. Sorry, I wanted to show you Queen, but sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Queen, we can all hook up and get that clarified afterwards as well. But yeah, Joseph, mine would be when it comes to clothes, understanding and learning the trends and paying attention to stuff. And I don't know if anybody out there that's listening or watching would comment below, but here would be a great example. I used to sell a lot of vineyard vines, and I used to anything that I saw with a whale logo on it, it was vineyard vines. I was buying it, and it all sold. And then I remember one morning I was watching the news at like 5:30 in the morning, and I had saw in the news that they were now that brand was going to be available for Target. And to me, I text Uncle B, and I also text my brother and said, stay away from vineyard vines now, because it kind of cheapened the value of that product line. So a shirt that we would have got probably $30 for, we might get 10 or 12 for it. And sure enough, that has been the case for me, at least. I don't know about anybody else, but so, and I think the biggest mistake I made though with that, Joseph, is not going to YouTube and watching these what sold videos and watching these guys with these channels and giving us such I cannot monetize what I've learned from watching these guys on YouTube and taking in the information and having an open mind. I will say this, there's been some times where I've had something where I thought, Jimmy, we talked about this in the past with some, those posters and stuff that my brother bought, where you don't have an open mind thinking, oh, well, I'm not going to touch that because it might be too much work to list it or something. And then you find out, well, shoot, keep an open mind on everything. It does, a lot of guys, I know a lot of people want to have a niche product that they sell, but I mean, I'm just as happy selling a $30 Remington replacement razor head as I am selling a $30 Harley Davidson t-shirt. They're still $30, you know what I mean, in my pocket. So
I think Frank just he just touched on one of my biggest mistakes was not like you said, not taking the time to do the research and just kind of counting something out. So his brother found a bunch of vintage posters, and when he bought them, I kind of was like, yeah, that's a lot of work to list. That's a lot of work to do. I wouldn't mess with posters. I wouldn't want to do that. And there was a couple posters in there. I know they've made hundreds of dollars off those posters, and he paid less than $100 for all of them. So that's one of the biggest mistakes is if something do some research. If you can get a bunch of something for a lot, do the research. But another big mistake is buying something that's decent sized and not being prepared to ship it. That's a very huge mistake early on. Make sure if you buy something big and you're going to list it on eBay, have your box ready, have your shipping supplies ready, because it'll be 10 o'clock at night and that thing will sell. And you're going to be like, oh my God, and you got to run down to Walmart. You got to run down to wherever to get the supplies to ship it. I highly recommend if you're selling bigger stuff, before you push click and list it, make sure you have what it takes to ship it. That's definitely been one of my biggest mistakes is scrambling in the middle of the night to find a box to ship something that I just wasn't ready to ship. Hey, Batman's dad, do we know you? Batman's dad? What's going on, Batman's dad? 3 years, wow. So I'm at about 2 years. I have stories if you guys want to hear it. So what really got me into this is I had to switch careers because of my medical issues, and I went into customer service. And I went from a mechanic to a mechanic on the phone answering mechanical questions. And I found out after about 6 months of doing that I'm not meant to answer phones because I'm not nice. I am nice, but when people are mad at me, I don't do well with it. So people call you up, their farm equipment's broken and they want to take it on you. So I did not do well with that. So I walked into my boss's office. I'm gonna try to make this quick. I walked into my boss's office and said, I quit. I'm not made to answer phones. So I quit. And he's like, I can't afford to lose you. You're the best guy on the phone. It's like, well, I'm not answering phones. So, I'm putting in my notice. I'm out of here. He said, give me 2 minutes. So he left the room. He came back and he was like, how do you feel about running our online sales instead? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, selling on eBay and Amazon. I was like, I'm a fat-fingered mechanic. I'll try it. I'll give it a try. He's like, well, our e-commerce guy just walked out on us. So we need someone to sell on Amazon and eBay. And I was like, I'll give it a try. And a year later, he was averaging about 300,000 a year in sales. My first year doing it full time, I did 1.5 million in sales on eBay and Amazon. So they were like, but that's when I found out, hey, why am I doing this for somebody else? Like, I'm going to do this on my own. Plus they weren't, they took advantage of me. They were like, oh, I went to them. I was like, look what I did. Look at the numbers. And they would not reward me at all. And they wanted to put me back on the phones. They were like, because they had let people go. I was like, well, I'm not going back on the phones. Anyways, long story. So that's how I started this. That's how I learned eBay, mainly eBay. And I was like, I'm going to go start my own business. Like, screw do this. I'm going to go do it on my own. And I've been doing it full time for over a year now.
And I just made a touch base on that. I think from a selling side hustle kind of thing, Jimmy, actually, I think we actually go further back than that. And Joseph, he's in our group here and one of the chatters on our live feed. The three of us all going to junior high and high school together. I think we all actually started our side hustle back in seventh grade when we used to trade baseball cards and sports cards. And I think that kind of planted the seed with us on how to do this hustle and buying and selling stuff and learning how to barter and trade and stuff like that. So I think we could say we even went back even further all the way back then. But yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, I had a job that I worked at for 20 years, making really good money. And one day I walked in and after about 45 seconds, I was told I didn't have a job anymore. And so we said, screw it, let's do this full time and see if we can sustain it. And knock on wood, a year and 2 months later, we're still we've branched out into the point of doing live videos and wanting to help other people to get them going. And it's funny, I hear people asking all the time, why do you do these videos? Why do you do these videos where you're telling people what to buy? Isn't that going to hurt your business? Isn't that going to hurt your sales? And I'm like, you know what? This is me paying it forward because I needed help when we started with this. And if we can't help people, then, you know, I want to help people out so they can get their side hustle going so we can all have a good time doing this stuff, because it's a drug to me. When I buy something cheap and I see what we sell it for, man, I never did any kind of drugs or anything like that, but I can imagine what it feels like. It's a good feeling to, you know, we talked briefly this morning. I bought a calculator for $1.49, sold it for $229. If that doesn't get you high and excited, this isn't for you. That's the way I look at it. This isn't for you. If that's, you know what I mean?
It's kind of weird though, like because it's weird to run into people that they're not interested when you start talking about it. They're like, nah, not interested. Like, how can you not be interested in that? How can that not get you interested and want to do this? But I guess, you know, to each their own, and it's definitely, you know, I personally don't get it. Like, how can you hear what we're doing and then not want to do it? But I guess it's better than, I guess if everybody was doing this, then we wouldn't be doing as well as we are. So,
hey Joseph, I got a 1982 Fleer Gary Carter if you're interested in it. It's been graded too.
It's been great.
I had it graded for you. It's in the mail.
PSA 9. Not a 10.
No, because there's a little bit of salt on it.
There's some salt scratches.
Yeah.
Scratches on it from some salt. Man, we've been on here for an hour and 16 minutes already. That's crazy.
Hey, Flippin' Hustler, what's with the Atari keyring?
Yeah, right.
Is there a story with that?
Was it vintage or was it a modern one? That definitely sparked my interest when he said that. Well, that's the other thing. Like this, I work more than I did when I worked. Like I work more. Do I enjoy most of it? Yes, but I do not rest. It's not, if you think you're gonna do this and sit on your couch all the time, you're gonna work more, but there's so much of it that's fun that it doesn't feel like work, but it'll catch up to you. You know, like there'll be one day where you're like, man, I haven't stopped for like 12 days straight. Like I might stop today just for a little bit, because your body starts to catch up to you. You're just like, wow, I didn't realize that I literally didn't stop on Saturday, Sunday. I was sourcing both those days, and I've been listing every other day and taking pictures and on YouTube and making videos. And next thing you know, you're like, man, I'm worn out. Like, but you don't, while you're doing it, you don't realize it because you're having fun. It's not till later when you start to wear down, you're like, I need to take a day and just rest and relax. So yeah, I mean, it's not for everybody from that standpoint, because some people will consider most of it work. And that's where most people fail doing this, is they realize this is a lot of work. You're busy all the time, and you better be ready to be busy all the time, and be busy at times you don't expect, you know. I do local sales. There's been times I drove in a blizzard to go sell something, you know, and then there's been times where I found a deal on Facebook Marketplace that I could not pass up on. I wanted, like, those Power Rangers. I bought some guy's collection of Power Rangers. I drove out in a blizzard to go get those in the middle of the night, you know, and I was at home ready for bed when I decided to leave. When that guy said, yeah, I'll sell them to you for this price, I was like, I'm gone. So it's unexpected busyness like that as well.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to see what he said. It was vintage, new old stuff. What? That's awesome. Sold it for $75. So it was still in the package. On salesman sample. Yeah, that's awesome. I love vintage stuff. I love old video game stuff. It's hard here in the Denver metro area to get your hands on it, because there's so many people that are buying for their collections that something goes on Facebook and man, it's gone. Like those people are. There's a local Facebook group that's called Denver Metro or Retro Gamers. Like they literally, if something goes for sale, they'll share it. They're like, I already have this, but if you need one, it's on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, Flipping Hustlers. I'm gonna go to your store and check that out. I'd like to see what that
Here,
looked
let me,
like and everything.
I'll do this so you can link it. If you want to link it, you can link your store right there if you want. I just made you a moderator, so if you want to link your store, do it. Sorry, I was reading this.
No, you're good. Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if the other viewers that live here in Colorado or the Denver metro area, but we got that new retro store up in North Glen. Remind me the name of it, Jimmy. I don't remember it.
What is it?
That retro store. That retro store up in North Glen by your house that just opened up that has all the retro toys and all that.
What
Pop
up,
culture.
Dan?
Dan, what's up? It's my cousin Dan.
Yeah, you can't get us to shut up, Dan. We'll talk all night. Now that you're here, we're going to talk for another hour.
All right.
You can't get us to shut up. Yeah, so go, if you want to share your store, Flippin' Hustler, put it there in the chat so people can check it out. Definitely, you're going to support me, I'll support you for sure. You're just being here watching me and talking to us. I appreciate it. Yeah, but this is Frank's cousin, Dan, good friend of mine too. Ever since I moved here to Colorado, I have dinners ready, right? So I'm surprised if my wife isn't yelling at me about dinner. She's probably got it ready down there. And
yeah, and if anybody cares to know, my cousin Dan has what is it, coffee eyes, Dan? What was the term you were giving?
Cappuccino eyes.
Cappuccino eyes. There you go.
Mr. Cappuccino eyes. You guys check out the chat over there. Flippin' Hustler linked his eBay store. Check it out. I'm going to go check it out after we're done here. I'm actually going to open it in another window right now. So I can get to. There we go. All right, Dino, you're going to go get ready for work? Yeah, man, thanks for dropping in both times. I appreciate it. We'll be doing this more. We're going to try to do it twice a week once Frank gets back from New York. So I'm thinking Friday again, right? Like Friday was really good.
Friday will work perfect for me.
All right, so we'll probably be live again on Friday.
Hey, and Dino,
best stories ever. Cappuccino eyes.
Hey, Dino Mac, I put my email address in the chat earlier, so make sure to shoot me an email so I can get some info from you to get some shirts and stuff. Yeah, Flipping Hustlers, I agree. It also is another way to kind of give us an idea of, I may miss something. So I look at other people's solds and I'm like, holy crap, that is interesting. I never thought of that, or you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's part of the game is, I spend a lot of time just looking at solds. Sometimes I'll just I'll put in a category, I'll find a toy. Like that's how so Dino Trucks, guys, with an X at the end, Dino Trucks. That's how I found out about Dino Trucks. I was just looking up toys that sold for a lot, used. I wasn't looking for vintage stuff, because stuff that's modern does really well too. And that's how I came across Dino Trucks, or Dino Trucks. I was just looking at solds and I was like, man, these things sell every day for a lot, and there's not a lot for sale, but there's always a lot going out. And so that's how I found always looking up solds. So I'll just hit a category. Obviously, I like video games and toys, so I'll just scour those categories looking at solds. And if I see something that doesn't look anything too old and looks like it's easy to find and I see it sold for a lot, I'll do more research on that toy, Yeah. Let me see. Let me make you a moderator. You can share your store then.
Crystal, we've been to the bins. We have 3 different ones. Obviously, I don't know if you're aware of that or not, but there are 3 different ones in the Denver metro area. The big one off of I-70. Then there's one out in Aurora, and there's one down in Inglewood. I would say the one in Denver is the best of the 3. But yeah, we've had some pretty good luck hitting those bins.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of a weird the way some of those people are in those bins. They kind of camp out. It almost feels like they camp out for days there. I mean, they got their little shopping carts where they cover with their blankets, and it's weird to me. I'll say that.
Yeah, the people that spend the whole day. I'll say we've been there. We're not your typical shopper there, though. I think the most time we've ever spent in one is maybe 2 hours. It's probably not the best attitude, and I might get some grief for this, but I always kind of say, every time we go there, Frank already knows what I'm about to say. When we're leaving, like, man, if I ever get that desperate, then I'm just going to go find a job again. Like, I don't want to fight for inventory. I don't want to throw elbows, and I don't want to have a guy grab a wrestler out of my hand. Like, I found a wrestler, this guy was grabbing all these wrestlers, toy wrestlers, and I had one in my hand, and he literally just grabbed it right out of my hand. And I was like, yeah, I'm not, because I'm going to throw an elbow into his head, and then it's going to get you know what I mean? Like, if I ever get that desperate, then I'll find something else. I'll go get a job. I don't want to be that desperate.
I would say I would piggyback on that by saying also too, I'm not going to spend 3 or 4 hours to try to find those 1 or 2 things that are going to sell well when I can source a lot more inventory to sell by bouncing from thrift store to thrift store and have a hell of a lot better time doing it and not get a disease from all the the people that are. I mean, it to me, it's not worth the work that kind of work. It's too much for me. It's overwhelming, and like you said, I'm not going to fight somebody over a 39-cent wrestler.
It's funny that I brought up wrestlers because I constantly joke like, yeah, we're going to go to a wrestling match. It's called the bins because that's what it's like. It's literally they pull out of some bins and people are just jockeying for position and pushing each other out of the way. Absolutely.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, the only thing I could say about the bins, the people that shop at the bins, they are trendsetters because they all got masks on and gloves, and they all look like they're fighting the coronavirus, and they've been doing that for years. So,
damn, right? I was going to say, that doesn't look like Dan, right? But you got the whole cappuccino eyes with the gray, the black and white picture. I see where you're going with that. Catfishing the Strok just playing.
Harry Humstone, you got some.
Hey, Harry, how's it going, man?
So that He-Man stuff is junk. So if you just want to send it to me, I'll throw it away for you.
You could just go ahead and send it. I'll send you an address. Free shipping, of course. If you could cover the shipping as well, that'd be great. Because I'm doing you a favor.
I have not found any He-Man stuff yet. I don't know about you, Uncle B. I've never found any out in the wild looking, whether it be garage sales.
When we were at the flea market, I found a couple. The guy with a lot of faces. I can't say his name.
Manny Faces.
And then the bee guy, the guy that looks like a bee. What's his name?
Bumblebee or Bumble. I can't remember his name.
I saw them, but you were buying wrestlers for $3 a piece. When I asked for those, I think they said like $8 or $9 a piece. I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, I always say this because my brother was always a sports card collector, so I kind of knew that stuff would have value down the road. But if I could have my Masters of the Universe collection and my LJN WWF wrestling ring figures, the cages, all that stuff.
This guy right here had so many wrestlers, man.
Oh my God, it's
a gold mine.
Yes.
Wait, how much did your mom sell those?
No, that was my sister. We were having a garage sale one day, and I was actually playing with my wrestlers in the front yard. And I went inside I don't know, to make a sandwich, use the restroom. I don't know why I went into the house. I came back out, and she gave me $8 and said, "Hey, I sold all your wrestlers."
No. Oh, we lost Frank. We lost Frank. I know.
I had to
take for a second there.
Thought my phone was on do not disturb.
You're back now. Oh, we lost him again. I've heard.
Sorry about that, guys.
You were talking.
Can you hear me?
You said that you had just gotten $8 for your wrestlers.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
I don't know why I lost my audio on this end. Hey, Dan, I remember, yeah, you had the Ewok Village. I wish I had your Mr. T figure you had when we were kids, too. I
got an Ewok Village right now. Tried to sell it to Dan. He didn't want to buy it. Yeah, I have an Ewok Village right now. And the only thing, the crank on it, the handle broke on that crank. So that's the only thing wrong with it, though. I'm probably gonna part it out. Whoa, we lost Frank again. Yeah, so be right back. Audio issues. All right. Yeah, I have a Ewok Village right now that I bought on Facebook Marketplace. Wait, what's Harry? Wow, yeah. I don't have a lot of vintage toys. There you are.
Yeah,
honestly, I'm not ready to collect it. If I start making really, really good money doing this, then I will start a collection. But most of the stuff I had, I sold. Or if I get my hands on something, I sell. Like that Ewok Village. As much as I want to keep it, I'm gonna part it out and sell it. Right now, I'm just not ready. I don't have the room. I'm working in my master bedroom right now. This is where I work, so I don't have the room to keep a collection. So right now, I'm not interested in a collection, but eventually, as I grow, I will start a toy collection.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, it would have to be something that was meant something to me where I would keep, like, if I found like a Hulk Hogan LJN that was in okay shape to put in my background of my stuff, I would keep something like that. But yeah, if I find something that's worth a lot, yeah, I'll sell it.
Yeah. Where do you go to find all this stuff? I mean, I hit Harry. Where are you finding all this stuff? First of all, what part of the country are you in? And then, are you finding them at a Facebook Marketplace, flea markets? How are you finding all that stuff? I mean, I'm always looking for it. I keep my eyes out. I see it on Facebook Marketplace all the time, but I'm not paying those prices. Those people, they're all resellers. House cleanouts. All right. So do you have a connection, or is that what you do? Do you do house cleanouts yourself? What part of the country did you say you were in, Harry? I know I've watched your videos before. I just don't remember where you live. That guy's got a lot of energy, man. He brings the energy, Harry. He's got some good videos. Delaware. Cool. Yeah, I mean, me and Frank's brother, that was about the only time we went to a sale where the lady was an antique toy collector and vintage toy collector. That was about the only time we really found a bunch of good stuff. And actually, Frank's brother found the best of it. He found a lot of old stuff, but yeah, I haven't had a lot of luck finding old toys, just here and there. I found a couple old GoBots, a couple old Transformers, but never a big bulk buy of them. It's just been here and there, and everything I found, I sold.
Hey, Joseph, that's a good question. What would I find that I would probably have to keep if I were to find it? Give me a minute, and I'll think of something that.
Hold on 1 second.
I got one that I will say I learned my lesson that I should have gave it to my brother, but I flipped it instead. I don't know if you guys will ever remember, this was even a little bit before my time, but they used to have the Evil Knievel stunt action motorcycles where you would put your Evil Knievel figure and you had a motorcycle and a cape and you would wind it up. Then you'd hit the button and the Evil Knievel would take off and you could build like ramps for him to jump and
Your
stuff like
brother's
that.
always talking about. Your brother always talks about that.
Yes, and well, so now here comes the right here's the jerk of the week right here. I found one. It wasn't vintage,
Right, I remember that.
but it was a remake or whatever of that toy. I bought it at a garage sale for $1 and sold it for like $60.
Yep, had it. Yeah.
And I actually kept that a secret from him for
I
about
remember.
3 months because it was
You
before
showed it to me. You showed it to me, but you didn't show it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kept it from him as secret until he started figuring out how that you could save a seller
Mhm.
and look at sales. And then once I knew he figured that out, I was like, well, shoot, I'm gonna have to tell him what I did. And he's still a little, hey, Joe, get in line. You're not the only one who's salty with me about something, because he's still salty with me about that. So I would say if I find another one out in the wild that I can buy, I'll probably buy it and give it to him.
Why do you hate your brother? So I while you were talking, I thought of 4 things that if I ever find it in the wild, I will keep for myself. The first one was my favorite Transformer that I had as a kid. It was original Jetfire, the red and white jet, the Autobot jet. For sure, I would keep that. Either of the Voltrons that we had, me and my brother had Voltrons as a kid. We had I had the Lions one, and then he had the one that was all the jets and the vehicles. If I found either of those, I would keep those for sure. And then the fourth thing is this was a cartoon that I loved. A lot of people don't remember. Tell me if you guys remember, but I loved Silverhawks, and I used to have all the Silverhawk toys. And if I find any Silverhawks, I'm keeping them. Any of you guys remember Silverhawks? I used to love the song Silverhawks.
It was funny as I remember you always
don't
tell me
remember
about that
Silverhawks.
show, which I don't remember. But I would say one for one, Dan, I used to have a generally big wheel. And man, I rode that thing till the tires wore out on that thing.
That front tire didn't. It was just like, I remember.
I was a lot lighter at that time too. So, but hey, you know what, Dan? We're on the same wavelength, because I was just gonna say I wanted a Rambo survival knife with the compass on the top and the waterproof matchstick and the little piece of wire you could use as a saw. Yeah, I remember being a kid, we'd go out to what was called the Park and Swap in Arizona, which is a flea market here, and they would sell those like crazy out there.
What Joseph just brought up makes me mad, because I found all 3 of those guys at an ARC thrift store. I think I told you about this, Frank. There was a bag full of old G.I. Joes. There's probably 12 of them in the bag. And all 3 of those guys, Destro, Tomax, and Zamat, were all in there. But they wanted $300 for the bag. It was like, even at half price, I can't pull that trigger. And it was just like, come on. Like, that makes me so mad. Like, I'm holding these awesome toys from when I was a kid in my hand, but I'm not, they weren't half price. It was $300. I'm not paying. I can't do it.
Okay.
I'm mad though, because I'm so close to getting these. I even talked to the lady behind the counter. I was like, who priced this? Is this real $300? I was like, I'll give you 80, but I'm not going to give you 300.
I just came up with 2 of them that I would keep if
Thanks
I
for
found
stopping in, Harry. Thanks for stopping in.
Thanks, Harry. So here's one, and I don't know if anybody would remember this. Speaking back to the Dukes of Hazzard theme, I remember seeing a commercial, but my mom and dad would never buy it for me, where you could get a radio-controlled General Lee. And obviously the commercials over-embellished what you could do with the car, but I always wanted to have a remote-controlled General Lee to be able to set up ramps and jump it like the Duke boys with all that. I mean, because I was a huge Dukes of Hazzard fan when I was little. And number 2, I would want an original. It was a toy truck. It was a Bigfoot toy truck and had the little controls up on the roof of the truck
I
that
remember
would
that.
tell you, you could go into like 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. And Dan would remember we would like dig out these mud pits and we'd run our big wheel toys through the mud. And I mean, yeah, that would be those are two of my grails that I would buy them, and I would probably have to keep them for myself because those things were just.
I gotta do this now. I gotta do this because nobody's saying they remember this stuff. Nobody remembers this, man.
And I also wanted, speaking of racetracks, Flip and Hustler, they also had a Dukes of Hazzard racetrack where you'd have the General Lee and you would have Roscoe's squad car, and they would race on the track, and it would do,
You guys don't remember this, man? Silverhawks. Loved Silverhawks, man. That was my favorite.
No, but what was the other one with the I don't know if they were Thundercats.
Thundercats,
Loved me some Thundercats.
And then Voltron. Oh yeah. What was and then did anybody ever watch Robotech? I loved some Robotech. I know my brother loved Robotech. You guys are like, what are you talking about, you nerd? Robotech.
Don't remember Robotech either.
Robotech was more anime. It was more like anime. It was like some of the original anime. I know Joseph loved Robotech. I know Joseph remembers Silverhawks. I used to watch that. I was Tom and Jerry kid. I mean, I watched Tom and Jerry. I watched cartoons late because I watched Animaniacs. I watched Gargoyles, some of the stuff in my teen years. I'm not afraid to admit it. I still watch some cartoons now.
Hey, Jerry had the coolest little apartment inside his little hole in the wall. When Tom would try to get him, I thought Jerry had the coolest little house in there. Yeah, I love me some Tom and Jerry.
What's on Netflix? Robotech or what?
Robotech or Silverhawks, because I need to check either one of them out because I don't remember either one of those. But yeah, I remember, like I said, I was a huge Dukes of Hazzard fan. I remember when I was a little kid, my dad would turn on the TV right when the Muppet Show would end, and then the next screen you would come across the screen would be Waylon Jennings' guitar playing the Dukes of Hazzard theme song, and we would watch that show, and then right after that, the Incredible Hulk would come on with Lou Ferrigno and
oh yeah, I know you love that.
Oh my God,
And this is a guy that I'm gonna throw you a little bit on. Frank is not big into superheroes and Marvel, and I had, the other day when he called Batman a Marvel character, I was like, ooh. But he loved the TV show Incredible Hulk, man. He absolutely loved that show.
Yeah, hey Jimmy, my eye's still swollen from when you socked me for calling Batman a Marvel character, or whatever. Yeah, I didn't realize that was.
You didn't know. But but Frank will tell you anything you need to know about wrestling. I'll be like, I'll hold up this figure. I have no clue who it is. He's all, yeah, that's what was that guy's name? The demon figure? I don't know.
Oh, that was Finn Balor.
Finn Balor. I'd never even heard of Finn Balor in my life. He's all, that's Finn Balor's demon costume he wore for a while. I was all, what?
So to know how much of a mark I am when it comes to professional wrestling. So on March 31st, 1985, myself, my brother, and my dad, my cousin Dan and his dad, my uncle Donald, went to Centennial Hall in Mesa, Arizona, and watched WrestleMania 1 on a giant movie theater screen.
Unbelievable.
And so now, 30-some years later, and I'm literally a block and a half from Madison Square Garden where that happened, is like beyond anything, you know what I mean? I'm a huge, like I said, wrestling was a huge part of our lives growing up as kids. I lived in Denver, before I moved to Arizona. The old AWA wrestling was huge back in the day. That's the other one I would love to find. Back in the day, and I think Dan had some Remco-made AWA wrestling figures. They were about the size of a G.I. Joe, but a little bit bigger. Man, if you can find those things, dude, I want some of those. They made like the Road Warriors, Ric Flair. Yeah,
what wrestling did I go with you guys? I mean, we went to a pay-per-view or something. There was blood everywhere. It was like two
Wrestle War 1991 WCW Wrestling War Games.
There was blood everywhere, man. There was 2 cages over 1 ring, wasn't it, or something like that?
Yeah, the War Games was 2 rings side by side, and then a cage surrounding both rings.
I remember Ric Flair's hair was completely red in that match. Wasn't he in it?
Yeah, Ric Flair. It was the 4 Horsemen. So, yeah, Sid Vicious power bombed Brian Pillman and jacked them all up, and yeah, Sting, and yeah, that was back in the day. Yeah, the Road Warriors. I was a huge Road Warriors fan.
Everybody in that match's hair was just completely saturated in blood. It was crazy. Dan said Road Warriors were his team.
Yes, sir. Hawk and Animal.
Yeah, I watched a lot of wrestling. I just didn't get into I watched all the mainstream WWF. I didn't get too much into the smaller wrestling, and I didn't watch WCW until it got big. I didn't watch what was the one before WCW?
NWA.
I didn't watch that.
Yeah, Dan and I went to a lot of wrestling when we were little. We went to the old Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Phoenix. We used to go watch wrestling there. So, Tammy, yeah, I mean, I could tell you some odd, trivial stuff on wrestling. Yeah, and somebody mentioned earlier, Flippin' Hustler said Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Actually, that was my first LJN wrestler I ever bought. My dad took me to about 6 different stores to try to find a wrestler, and all they had was like Bruno Sammartino and some other oddball, because I wanted a Hulk Hogan, because Hulk Hogan came with the belt, and so I wanted the Hulk Hogan, but we couldn't find any, so I finally settled for Jimmy Snuka. And my brother laughs because I used to I would pull my wrestlers around in a roller skate, and I even misspelled Snuka on my skate. That was his car to drive around in. Yeah, it was a big mark. Yeah, Andre the Giant, the first one had all the big puffy hair, and then they made a different Andre with the smaller hairdo. Yep, Dan, you had the one with the big hair.
I used to like Coco Beware. That was my guy.
Yeah, with his bird Frankie. Hey, name drop Frankie. The Birdman.
And are you still here, Joseph? Or who was your Joseph? Me and Joseph watched a lot of wrestling, like WWF. So we watched old school WWF. I remember like in Coco. I remember for some weird reason like Hercules with his chain when he would swing.
Yeah, swinging it around. Yeah.
I definitely liked Andre the Giant for sure. But
I actually met Hulk Hogan about.
I remember that. Yeah, you have a picture.
About 10 years ago. My sister works for a limousine company, and she was actually going to be the greeter. And she said, she texted me and she said, "Hey, I need your help." She goes, "We have a special guest that I'm supposed to greet at Denver International Airport." She goes, "Does the name Terry Bollea sound familiar to you?" I said, "Yeah, that's Hulk Hogan." She was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." So we landed up going to the airport. I went with her to the airport, and I got to take a picture with him. And Dan, I even mentioned to him in our conversation that one of my first matches I watched him was when he got beat up by Don Morocco and King Kong Bundy, that we were in the arena that night at Veterans Memorial Coliseum when that happened. And we kind of laughed about that. And but yeah, it was pretty cool to and I'll tell you one thing, he's definitely not 6'10" anymore. I'm 6 foot, and he was just maybe an inch or two taller than me. Yeah, Andre was cool too, Joe. I mean, there's some
that documentary is
urban legends about him, his prowess when it came to drinking.
Right.
He could drink 152 beers at one sitting was his the urban legend that he drank in one sitting, 152 12-ounce beers, I believe it was. He could drink a case of wine and not get a buzz. And his farting, yes, Joe.
Yes. Yep, epic.
One story I knew about with Andre was he would when he would fly to Japan, because he was even huger in Japan than he was in America. Well, obviously in Japan everything is smaller there because their population, their bodies and whatnot are a lot smaller. And he would actually have to defecate in the bathtub because he could not fit on the toilets. So he would have to defecate into the bathtub, and then they would get paper towels or trash newspapers, whatever, to to clean it up because he was so big. Yeah, Slick, Reverend Slick.
I hate to do
Doctor
this,
of
but I gotta
Style.
get going, man. It's getting the wife's home. She's starting to make some noise by the door. I'm gonna have to get going, guys. So if you have anything real quick, Frank, go ahead. But I gotta get going, and we'll be back on Friday, though, guys.
Yeah. So real quick, if anybody, if somebody wants to comment on something that we can either continue on with the conversation, whether it be toys or wrestling or something that we can kind of, because I don't want to talk about the coronavirus unless something major happens between now and Friday.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste any time on that.
And I got one thing I want to bring up. Oh, we lost Frank again. While he's gone, I want to bring up, hey guys, tell your friends. I don't care. I'm gonna promote my channel a little bit. Tell them to subscribe. Frank, you're muted. We can't hear you. Hold on, Frank. Tell your friends to subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing a giveaway when I get to 200 subscribers. It's gonna be a $25 eBay gift card. So let people know, spread the word. I'm at 183, I think, last I checked, 184-ish. So we're getting really close. We're less than 20 away. So tell your friends, and they'll have a chance to win. So I'll make a video, and in that video, I'll announce the giveaway. And if you comment in that video, you have a chance to win that gift card. So tell your friends about it. Tell them to subscribe, and they'll have a chance to win that gift card as well. And yeah, Frank, I'm sorry we lost you, so I just did that real quick. I don't think we can hear you. Yeah, no. No, can't hear you. Can you guys hear Frank? I can't hear Frank. I'm going to just go ahead and close it out. We'll talk to you on Friday. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Remember, tell your friends to subscribe, and we'll do that giveaway here soon. And we'll see you on Friday.